Hey guys, it is Scuba here, and I have Mocha over here.
Oh shit, what up?
And as promised, we're here to do our Microsoft E3 breakdown. So we did Sony yesterday because we both have PlayStation 4s and we're all about it. And
PS4 Master Race.
So neither of us have Xbox Ones, but all of our friends do. So we'll go ahead and get started and talk about basically their opening was talking about the Xbox Slim that's going to be coming out. It's going to be $300 and it's coming with a designable controller, a completely designable controller.
Sounds pretty interesting.
That sounds really cool. I really need something like that going on with my PlayStation 4, man.
I feel like there's not enough customization for console accessories. But at the same time, I definitely feel like Microsoft has taken a Apple turn on customizing things. Like every time I see the commercial for these Xbox customization controllers, I just think of like the Apple iPod Nanos and all the different colors you can get. But I mean, it's still a cool marketing concept nonetheless.
So do you think the Xbox Slim was a good direction idea?
I feel like it's a predictable direction. I mean, they've done it ever since, PlayStation 2. I don't think the original Xbox had it like an alternate console, but I mean, this idea has been around for a long, for quite some time. So, I mean, it's nothing new to us. $300. I mean, if they've made significant, improvements from the original Xbox One, then I could be about it. But $300 is a lot of cash to be spending on just the same system basically.
Yeah, I mean, they pushed it and said like it's gonna have about the same memory and all that. I think it's just a space saver. You know?
So you're basically buying a new console to get a bigger hard drive.
Yeah, it'll work out. I'm sure people will still get them.
Somebody's gonna buy that shit.
People had in Slims in every other console. You'd go over to your friend's house and see that they had them. Like most of my friends had the Slims. Anyways,
I still have my fat PS2, and all my homies had the PlayStation Slim, bro.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's whatever. I'm gonna keep my classic.
Yeah, I hear you. I love the designable controller idea. I don't think there's much else to say about a slim console. I don't think we need to go into detail that
more
too
space,
much.
more space, more space. There you go.
Regardless, as a whole, I think that Microsoft was just kind of more talking about specific things with making their console and their online play a little more interesting, trying to fix out the bugs in that instead of PlayStation just went in on games. Like
they have nothing wrong in their system. There's no flaws, so they're not trying to play catch up with their with the bugs.
Yeah. All right, so they're doing a thing called Xbox Play Anywhere, where if you buy a game on Xbox, you can also play it on Windows 10. I think that's a really, really cool idea, not just as somebody with Windows 10, but obviously I don't have an Xbox One anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, that definitely opens up, a whole realm to people who don't have Xbox. So most people have PCs. I don't know a lot of Mac users. I mean, there's quite a few Mac users, but a lot of people I know definitely they rock the PC. And if you got a PC, most likely you do have Windows 10. So that's going to open up a lot of possibilities for gaming.
I think it's a great idea because mostly people don't have like PS4 as their primary console and then they have an Xbox One as their secondary console. It's usually like they'll go with PC as their second option.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one or the other. So
as an Xbox One user, I'm sure they're super pumped to hear about this. It's a really, really good idea. So the games that they announced, a lot of the games like have been around already or whatever, and they're just announcing that they're doing some stuff with the Play Anywhere. They first announced Gears of War 4.
Ooh.
That was kind of their God of War. Like if you compare the two and how crazy of an announcement it was.
Yeah, I feel
we were all looking forward to Gears of War a little more. To be announced. God of War kind of hit us.
Oh yeah, I mean even if you're not an Xbox player, Gears of War is definitely still definitely a good game nonetheless. But yeah, it's definitely the only exclusive that's been around for quite a while that is still like going. Besides maybe Halo for Xbox, there's not a whole lot of exclusive. I feel like this day and age for Xbox.
That at least stick around.
Oh yeah,
and get a lot of praise. But it's got a release date for October 11th. We'll definitely post a link on it if you're more interested in that. Killer Instinct. So we'll be honest here and say we just found out about Killer Instinct. Jeremy and me play fighting games non-stop. We're always playing fighting games. And to hear about this Xbox exclusive fighting game, Killer Instinct, we already know it's been out or whatever.
Yeah.
They announced that General Ram from Gears is going to be added to the game. But we just want to talk about Killer Instinct for a sec and just say we looked into it, watched tournaments and everything.
Dude, Killer Instinct was fire.
We were really, really happy with what we saw. It honestly made us talk about getting the console itself just to play this fighting game.
Just because I love Halo so much and they have the Arbiter as a playable character to fight as. And
I forgot about that.
That itself would make me want to buy the game alone just because I'm a diehard Halo fan. Even though I skipped on the Xbox One, Halo's still, probably one of my favorite games of all time.
What was it? It was kind of like I definitely saw Mortal Kombat style in it, and then it was kind of like Mortal Kombat meets Tekken, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't as.
It was a little. No, it was faster than that. So it was probably like Marvel vs. Capcom meets Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it was
definitely Marvel vs. Capcom. A lot faster than
like
Tekken
Blaze
would
Blue,
be.
kind of. It was a really, really good looking game. The characters were fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So if you have an Xbox One and you dig fighting games, definitely look into this game. We hope that sometime soon we can definitely get into this because it looks dope. Yeah. Forza Horizon 3 has a release date September 27th. I didn't look too much into it. I didn't watch a lot of gameplay or anything.
I'll tell you what, that game
Racing
looks
games.
Beautiful.
It looks, it looks gorgeous. Racing games might finally be making a comeback. I know that PlayStation 1 days, PlayStation 2 days, racing games were everything to people,
Gran
Turismo,
Burnout.
the Need for Speeds were hot.
Yeah. They still have a couple Need for Speed installments for this generation's consoles, but I feel like just racing games in general are at an all-time low unless you're playing like Mario Kart or some shit.
You had like what was the one that we got for PlayStation? The weird kitty one.
Oh man, the one you got for free. I forget what it's called, but it's not too bad of a game. I mean, if you get into it, it's free. So
it's like Mario. It's kind of like Mario Kart.
Yeah,
but then you have the Crew.
Yeah.
The Crew actually I don't think did too bad, but regardless, it seems like Forza Horizon 3 is just going to take this new approach. It's going to hit where Gran Turismo left off. I just remember growing up, my dad played Gran Turismo like all the time and had like such a crazy collection of cars, and it was never my thing because I was a little kid and didn't know how to fucking play games, I guess.
I was really never too into cars, but I mean, I feel like for this game, they're upping the graphics, they're making it look way better than the previous installments, and I'm sure they're gonna tweak the cars, add new specs for the cars and everything to make it that much greater.
It should have a lot of gameplay or a lot of replayability. It shouldn't get too old if you're into that kind of thing. Final Fantasy 15. We already talked about Final Fantasy 15. We were able to see gameplay that surprisingly
was trash,
flopped.
Dude.
This guy,
the E3 dude, just tanked on this boss battle.
He's fighting this giant boss, and you can't really tell what's going on. It's just kind of.
It looked like he played it for the first time and he's just struggling on hard mode. And it wasn't pretty. The game itself looked pretty, but the dude playing as Noctis was just not, getting the job done by any means.
Yeah, it just looked. He made the game look really buggy, but it was mostly just what the dude was doing that made it look funky. It was like when you lock onto a character on Dark Souls, and then you just constantly lock on and lock off, and you're just kind of flying around, not knowing what you're doing.
You're surviving at this point.
That's exactly what it looked like to me. But September 30th is when Final Fantasy 15 is coming out. Next, we'll talk about We Happy Few.
Ooh, this game looks amazing for sure.
We looked into this game a little more too. Really, really interesting looking. It's a different twist on stealth games, it looks like. You can collect a bunch of things. Give me give me your little breakdown that you gave me earlier, because that was...
Basically, I've been looking at this game for quite some time. I don't know too much about it. I've seen a couple gameplay videos on it, but it's not necessarily a horror game. I would consider it more like a psychological thriller / stealth game. And from what I've seen, you're basically a character who's not a part of this certain society known as like the happy people, and they refer to the main character as a downer. So I'm assuming there's like this separation between one party and the next. So basically, when you're playing as the main character, you want to be able to blend in with these people, because if they figure out that you're not one of them, they're going to come after you and basically just try to kill you. So the whole game is you're stealthing around, you're picking up items, and I don't know if there's a crafting system, but I know that you do start out in like a safe house with all these things that you can interact with. You go out into the world, and from what I've heard, I don't know this for fact, but the levels are randomized, so each time you play, like, things are in different spots. The enemies may be in different spots, may behave differently and everything, so there's always that replay value right there to keep playing it and just keep progressing. You never know. It's kind of like a Binding of Isaac thing, where it's like one round you might get rocked, the next round you might get an easy break, but who knows? You just got to keep playing to find out.
Yeah, it seems like like The Strangers and Clockwork Orange meets BioShock.
Yeah.
I had a
it
really
looked like BioShock Infinite.
The animation looked a lot like BioShock Infinite. The voice acting sounded incredible.
Yeah.
It's just it's a really, you'll have to check it out to kind of understand where we're going here.
Yeah.
But it does look like a really, really good game. Really quickly, just mention that there's a Gwent Witcher card game coming out. I know Jeremy's not too into collectible card games. I got into Magic the Gathering and all that, so I'll probably look into it depending on the pricing and all that. But it looks kind of neat. It looks like it can kind of go somewhere. Keep your interest for a little bit, but not a long time. I think Hearthstone and all those will still kind of hold the throne on that. Tekken 7.
Oh shit! Tekken's my game.
So Tekken's his game, and Street Fighter is probably my game. And to see Akuma added to Tekken 7 makes me actually excited about Tekken 7.
You ain't gonna be excited about this ass whooping when it comes out. That's for damn sure.
Well, with Akuma being in the game, I don't know, man. I definitely feel like at first, without that announcement, you would have had me. But Akuma, I'm going to just constantly play this dude and challenge you on a regular basis.
Your Akuma can't take on my Kazuya, bro. It's game over, bro.
It's released.
Electric punch you to the fucking moon.
All right. Whatever, man.
I still love you, though.
The raging demon is coming, man.
Whatever.
All right, so early 2017.
Real disappointed about
on
this
the release date.
I've been watching this game for quite a while. It's been announced for quite some time.
It has been, because I remember us talking about Tekken 7, like, I want to say a year or so ago.
At least a year ago. It came on the arcade system probably, a year and a half ago.
So to say that they have made not enough progress to release this game until early of 2017.
A year's work of time for console games. That's kind of bogus to me, man.
And then on top of that, we don't have Xbox One, so you get Tekken Tag 2 for free.
That's a bummer, because I would love to have that.
Which is sweet for those of you that have an Xbox One, but a big bummer for us. That would have been a really, really cool addition of just...
that would have tied me off.
Would have been like, I'm alright with the 2017 thing, I'll get by with it. Pre-ordering it, though. I'm doing everything I can to play this game. And then if you get bored with Tekken 7, just hop on Tekken Tag 2, and it'll be even more fun just knowing that it was free, a free edition.
Yo.
Just sucks that the PlayStation equivalent was the fucking Modern Warfare.
Yeah, that's trash.
You get Modern Warfare for getting Infinite Warfare.
It's not a good trade-off in my book.
We don't fucking care about Call of Duty, so... Alright, moving on. So,
I don't know about that shit.
We have Dead Rising 4. I don't think it looks like anything special. I think it looks like Dead Rising. I don't think it even graphically looks like a step up.
There's really no changes in this game.
It's just kind of there.
The story.
Dead Rising 3 got a little more of a negative review than 2, I think, and so they kind of made it a little more like 2. But that's all I got. Game doesn't look like anything you haven't played before on Dead Rising.
I do know that. I mean, obviously that the weapon mods and then the character customization is at an all-time high with the game, and that's probably the only improvement that they've made. There's
just only so much you can do with it, and depending on when it's going to be released in comparison to the one we talked about yesterday, Days Gone, I feel like Days Gone's just going to blow this game out of the fucking water, man. I mean, Dead Rising 4 in comparison to this brand new, fresh zombie apocalypse game, like, I just think they're going to take an L on this one for sure.
Yeah. I mean, compared to that game, for sure. I mean, it's two different genres, but I mean, the same kind of, zombie apocalypse game. There's not too many things you can do with that type of game. And I think Days Gone is definitely going to, put a whole new twist on it compared to Dead Rising, which is just basically updating graphics from its predecessor.
Yeah. I mean, if you're into Dead Rising, you got a new game coming out. That's something positive to look forward to. Also, on the zombie note, we have State of Decay 2. I'm not going to shit on State of Decay 2 because State of Decay 1 was probably one of the most underrated games I've ever seen. I know my friend Rodney and me played it quite a bit. It was actually like base building. You put people in jobs. Like it was like Grand Theft Auto meets zombies. Yeah, really. It was a good game.
It kind of reminded me of the trailer the gameplay trailer we saw. It kind of reminded me of Left 4 Dead. With like all the characters, but at the same time you're also building a base. So it's kind of like Gears 3 Horde mode, where you're building your base for defense, and then you're playing out the round and seeing if you can survive.
Yeah, so there is a survival aspect to it. I think it'll go over well. I think State of Decay 1 just did it started off as PC only, and I think it switched over to consoles at a weird time, so it didn't really get the love that it deserved. But I hope that State of Decay 2 gets a lot of noise behind it, and people can really check it out and see what it's worth.
For sure.
Next we have Halo Wars 2. I don't know anything about this, so I'm gonna hand this over to you.
I'm not too familiar with it, except that obviously it's the sequel to Halo Wars 1, which is a real-time strategy game. If you're into those kind of games, it's kind of like Ages of Empire, where you build a base, you send your dudes out to fight, the enemy and everything.
Is there are there generals and stuff, or is it just you have the same Halo troops as somebody else, or is it a story?
I want to say there's like a story mode to it, but like I said, I haven't really looked into it too far. Real-time strategy games aren't really my forte. Yeah, they're kind of just out of my.
It's weird because real-time strategy games are my thing and Halo's his thing. So together we just don't know much about the game. We'll put a link for you though. Next we're gonna talk about Scalebound.
Come on, man. I don't know how I feel about this gameplay trailer, man. It was so angsty,
I don't think that you need to. I don't even think you need to make it justified or anything.
They said it was like,
I think that it just looks. I think it just looks bad.
Yeah,
I think it looks bad.
Graphically, it's okay, like when the cutscenes come out, but like gameplay wise,
yeah, the cutscenes were like Final Fantasy X. But then the gameplay itself, it looked so choppy. The shadows were weird, and you're facing these big ass dudes like Shadow of Colossus style, and it's like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. Yeah. It's just and the main character.
The main character just pisses me off. He's like a PG-13 Dante from Devil May Cry, and it doesn't work out. Everything the dude says is like a catchphrase. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat you up, man.
It's time to go." and then he throws mid gameplay. He decides that shit's apparently getting real, so he throws on headphones and just starts listening to jams while he's fighting this giant spider creature. But they're like. he has these dinosaurs on his side. They're like Digimon dinosaurs,
and how to train your dragon type.
He uses them to fight this thing. Otherwise, he has a bow and a.
To me, the dude seems basically useless without his dragons. He has the shitty-ass bow that didn't even do damage when he was shooting it at the monster, and he just really had to depend on his AI dragons. And, like...
his squad that was with him that didn't seem like they were doing much either. It seemed like the first time that they announced, you know, like, having AI work together with you, and they just, like, are useless. Yeah. You remember those days where you're like, I don't even know why you gave me this person.
You got your Donald and Goofy from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. Which is basically, they're there to support the story, but you could do this without them.
We don't think the game looks interesting at all. We saw some stuff on it last night, and we were like, that looked pretty dope. Yep. But when we actually heard how terrible the voice acting was, how corny it sounded, how... looking into it a little more, it looks so choppy and just graphically bad besides the cutscenes. We're definitely not going to check this out.
I feel like I should have been playing this on the 360 instead of the Xbox
on the 360, hey, maybe this would have made it. Maybe this would have been maybe this game would have been the shit, but
besides that voice acting.
This is a different time. You got to step up your game a little. We'll definitely see how the reviews go. If it goes over well, good for them. I don't understand how from what I saw, but we'll see.
Still not playing it.
Last, we are going to talk about Sea of Thieves. This
is the grand finale of E3's Xbox coverage.
This game looks awesome, dude. It's got it's basically like an open world pirate game.
Yeah, and you can squad up with your homies, and you guys have a pirate crew, and you go out and just take down other crews on the sea. Man.
You actually do the stuff on the ship. You can actually like your ship can start to sink. You can shoot cannons at other people. You can probably take their shit. And also you can get fucking trashed. You can just get Grand Theft Auto, hit the bar up. With what's his name?
Have a couple beers with your homies.
Grand Theft Auto 4, where it's your cousin Roman.
Hey, you want to go bowling?
And he's like, you want to go, hey, it's your cousin, want to go bowling. But you hit up the bar, and you can get trashed and be a pirate. And honestly, those two things alone pull me in on a video game. I think it looks great. You can go swimming. Graphically, it looks fine enough. Looks like there's some kind of character customization. It's really Minecrafty, honestly, but not in a ugly pixely kind of way.
Yeah, I mean,
just in a really colorful kind of way.
Yeah, the graphics to me look like an amped up version of what Wind Waker used to be. Just the whole cell shading graphics and everything. It looks real beautiful. Open world, you can do things outside of your ship. You're not always confined to your ship.
You're not always on the sea. Like you can go on land and stuff from what we saw. And I wonder if there's actual like treasures and randomized just crazy shit out there. That would be super cool.
This makes for a good multiplayer game.
Yeah, would you say? I mean, Tekken 7 is probably the one you're most looking forward to.
Biased statement for sure.
But other than that. Would you say Sea of Thieves?
Tekken 7 aside, I would definitely say Sea of Thieves.
Or We Happy Few. I know you're excited about that.
Yeah.
I just can't stop thinking about Killer Instinct, man. I really want to get into that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say Sea of Thieves.
Tekken
7, I'm just excited to see Akuma. But bias aside, I would definitely say Sea of Thieves. We Happy Few looks incredible. I'm gonna have to look and see if that's an Xbox exclusive. But altogether, it looks like a really.
If I could at least get it on PC, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Which with this whole program that they're launching, I feel like that's going to happen eventually.
I feel like it's going to be on there somewhere. I'll have to check it out. But that's probably all we have for that. I think we might do one more on the other things, like Injustice 2, Watch Dogs 2, Dishonored 2, the twos everywhere.
The year of the sequels.
But we'll just talk about all those together as if they were one of our Microsoft Sony ones, and then that'll probably sum up our E3 coverage. We're definitely planning on doing podcast minis soon, where we talk about like little news stories and shit here and there that we can actually like break into 10 minutes or less for you. So if you don't have the time to listen to a 30-minute to an hour podcast for us, you can at least check out our minis and just hear us talk about some really dumb shit. But,
the insight on just news is going to be pretty hilarious to come. I just feel like it, because our opinions on real world shit is just completely
it's
ridiculous.
It'll be a lot. I think that the podcast minis are going to be great for us because we'll be able to actually joke about a lot more things, and people will actually see that side instead of the serious breakdown of things like we've been doing. But regardless, I hope we helped you guys out on Microsoft and Sony. Hopefully Xbox or PlayStation. I'm sorry about all the Xbox hate. We promise we're not.
Xbox is a good console if you like Call of Duty, but whatever.
Well, apparently not.
Keep making that joke every podcast. It's gonna get old, but I don't give a shit.
Our Sony Call of Duty fucking love was ridiculous.
You gotta have a villain somewhere, I guess.
There were all kinds of Call of Duty talk in the Sony one. But alright, guys, that is gonna sum it up for us on this. We'll try to get that next one in soon and upload it. But thanks again for all your help, all the positive words we've been hearing from you guys. We will see you guys next time.
All right, peace, y'all.